Yeah, family, and welcome back to yet another very important program. And my name is Mohamed Kago, and today the topic where the flow, na the flip flop of Sierra Leone economy, and it also connected to the security situation of the country. But why then topic are very important? We decide for bring this because according to IMF, Salon na donor driven country. IMF don't warn the world and other body there, other country then say, now we brace yourself. We expect serious economic hardship, very hard. And this not so exaggeration. It come up from the analyst then and chief economist experts there all agree on the subject of very tough trying time for calm ahead. And again, the EU, European Union, also echo a similar statement for say, now we ready for face a very tough hard time. China, where they support Africa and Salon, they struggle. And then country they are, now then they help Salon for at least we run the economy. And if you then don't they complain to this point, it means yes, indeed, serious economic situation we get for affect we they ahead. So we decide to invite people that we get extensive knowledge in the area of economics, in the area of security, for can help we talk exactly what in government for do and what do yourself for do as a citizen for let yourself brace up to the challenge. Now, but before we go to the guest then for medicine, we'll try to make an introduction one after another. The first person we'll introduce now a very young man, Mr. Andrew Almami Kamara. Now, a one-time banker, so you know exactly what he get for cancer rewards. And again, ACC certified person. So, Mr. Kamara, please say hi to Fambule.
Fambule, good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
All right. So the next person we'll introduce now. Another camera again. I don't know why the camera and two. Okay. When Mr. Ibrahim Kamara, himself now a very young man with sharp brain when it comes to economic analysis, and himself now a student where they study in Birmingham, and instead they do ACCA. So we get a very tough time now because them brother with what you don't talk so. I hope so no more no can and then they can send you boku figure then. Okay, Mr. Kamara, Mr. Ibrahim, say hi to listeners and to the viewers.
Okay, I'm Fambul, any person at the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much. And the next guest will introduce now Mr. Kanu. Mr. Kanu now the CEO of the Kanu Branch Foundation, and also now cyber security expert. Of course, he said they do your own final studies regarding that area, and then type of specialists here will not get them in our country. We'll get them limited. So for now, we get them kind of at least on their forum, yeah, a very important because at least a blessing for like we can share some of your knowledge to the people. Mr. Kanu, say hi to the people. Yodio, it seems as yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Fambul them good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to everyone wherever you find yourself. Mina Alusain Subakano.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kano. Yeah. So we go straight to the first question where we send to we brother when Andrew. Mr. Andrew, given the current challenges we face in the country right now, what do you feel say governments for engaging, for minimize the impact of this condition? Because we know say the coronavirus don't hit all of the major economies. Just like when we made the introduction, the side that will be the one for go to us, go to IMF, go to the World Bank, you can go to the European Union, China, they all they suffer. What do you feel say when a practical thing where government for engaging. Mr. Andrew, to you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Kango, thank you very much for this wonderful program for hosting it today and for giving the platform for Komon-Tok on the economy in Salon. First and foremost, I want to make this very clear to people and we all normal language. You know, go come for close leakages and open drainages at the same time. What I mean by this, every responsible government at the world for making able for function well, especially at this time, what you need for do, I believe say the government for just told the same line where the previous administration be done left, although they self-portal, but they could just say the idea was very good. It was a brilliant initiative for how the austerity measures, you know, austerity measures in the sense where the government cuts down on the spending. You know, will come and during the time you say the fight coronavirus or COVID-19, you know, see no go responsible government at the world we fight coronavirus and spend more than waiting in the sea. Because right now, Salon, if you look at our economy, now I don't know driven, and the people who are able to forgive money, themselves heavily hit by this virus. Take over almost $20 million. You go purchase brand new customized vehicle there. 100 motorbikes at a time where in the whole world they plan and put modalities in place for cut down spending. We own government, what did they do? Then go spend more for go buy brand new motorcade and brand new motorbikes. You know, that's one aspect. If really you responsible in this sense, I believe say we for just make a platform where the previous austerity measures where the predecessors administration left, and for just follow that same suit there. Another aspect where we for look at this part of the world where we did, for instance, like the UK and this part where they live in Denmark, we get a policy where they say a retention scheme. A retention scheme in the sense the government they come in for waiting for alleviate the situation of employees, because the more you lay off staff them from the working field, the more you add more stress into the economy. Because putting all people them aside from working, it hits the government heavily. Like this part of the world, if they lay off everybody from working, they don't make no modalities in place, if they find out, say, the government therefore spend more on these people in a way where they call like they provide a facility where they call they provide money to the people where you don't lay off. So the government now into all that burden there. You understand? They into that burden there because if you not provide them money, then people and they go angry, and at the end of the day, it will affect them greatly. You know. So like if really the government of Sierra Leone will not fall into that people and will say, well, we know to England, we know to Denmark, we know to America, we know to Sweden. But we will make example to them country because if we want to grow as a nation, you find out say some of them things that they're very important, you know. And also if the government wants for really help for tackle the economy, I believe say therefore cut down on the interest rate. Because every government at the world or every economy, interest rate now a thing where they try for it attract investors there. You don't go ever go put money in any economy where you see say the interest rate they at a very high rate. And the regulatory body when at the central bank in any country, now they're responsible for ensure that the interest rate they at a very low pace. Yeah, if you they work, for instance, you get a current account, you go put money, the way how your salary they come, that bulk is some now you they receive back. And so you find out, say, the people they be motivated for left the money them at the account, and you find out, say, even when you they save, they see, say, you know, they make more interest from that savings. The only way where the banks and they make money in this part of the world now waiting through mortgage. But we don't see this thing that happen at Salon. Well, they see different dimension. If you go put money now, most of them commercial banks in a Salon, for instance, you put money, the time where they work now FI bank, we get a system we call COT, commission on turnover. Every money you like you invest $50,000 or $60,000 any of their bank today, if you go back for go withdraw their money today, how much you will get? Maybe you will get $49,000. You're not going to forget the $50,000 equivalent where you go invest into that banks because they get a very high COT rate. Now, Salon, I see if you go put, let me say for 100 million for 6 months on a savings on a current account, you dey find out their money then you're not going to be able to forget them again. And that one they discourage investors then. Because no way, no the way we're able to convince me say can't invest that money where you don't suffer for fair. Okay, let's say for instance, Mr. Kabusa, you don't suffer hard for fair money. Yeah, they take it time for get at this couple. You go to a salon and you say, if I go, they're going to charge me heavily from this money where I get. I will be motivated for go invest. That's the only way they go invest. So if I can talk about this part, I just want to stop here for now and hand over to you again, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. And as I promised and they deliver to we viewers, Denga, they really know what's in the talk. Of course, they talk from the perspective of being a banker and he really not the hard fact, you know. So like some of them say, why would they enlighten us for we leaders and then pay attention? Because, you know, you don't get all the knowledge. Even when you get technocrats, professionals for running a country, sometimes it's necessary for let you listen to outside voice because within the confinement of power, there are times because of the familiarity for telling the truth, that's an hard decision there. And then some policy makers, specialists or professionals, or we will tell the president or people that we actually get the right for deliver policies that way prudent for help change, effect change, except in some cases from outside, where get the contract to themselves, they're good in their own field. So that make once in a while they come up with them professionals here for at least and can help you better. Now we come to Mr. Kamara. Now I want to just help let we try to understand the relationship between the inflation and economic growth. Help we for elaborate for no benefits more.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. So I will slightly able just throw small light on that. Generally, inflation will occur in our country as a result of so many factors. But like one key thing, the general understanding where a lot of people that they get, whenever there is an inflation in any country, like with experience in most parts of the world, let's say specifically Southern, because like the discussion they target the country, it comes as a result of economic decline. That can cause inflation most times. And inflation itself, now one key economic indicator they can use where it shows the economy not grow. But the relationship we get with economic growth, where in certain situations where the economy they grow, like for example, in the advent of like technology where they make a lot of investments that will take place, automation where they speed up, production and some other ways, and it will result to economic growth in our country. Then. So like the government through the central bank, will use a monetary intervention policy for the increased liquidation by the country. It increase money circulation. It will pour money because the more way the economic growth they take place, like investment they boom because of technology and all of that stuff there. People then keep wallet money they flow. So that inside the government can end up for stepping for increased liquidation. So again for they pour more money into the economy. And they pour money, they try for improve on money circulation. And money circulation, the more way the government they continue for pour more money, for improve the liquidation situation of the country, for like boost the investment where the economic growth they happen, it results to inflation. Because what you need for the inflation are the persistent rise in the price level. You see? So like it can happen sometimes, but like now an indication say the economy will grow sometimes. But the disadvantage, if I target like the country Sierra Leone precisely, because inflation itself, like put the other part of it, inflation itself is bad for country them. If na country like Salone we they import more, because inflation not good for imports. But if like what they get inflation, if now being an economy will be get where they export more, inflation for don't be in we advantage. Because what thing that they try for say, we locally produce goods them, we get for they produce them at a very low rate because we money not value. The money depreciate. So we'll produce them, but we'll go send them overseas, it will they export, we they get huge amount of money to and where it be an advantage to the country. So like if you understand, this is one of the key things we make if you see like China the kind of country where they're more focused on export. So they need to even fight for like try for like the money in value. They're quite comfortable with that, where the money in value a bit depreciates if you compare it to the dollar or the pounds. Because then they export. When they export, they sell to them countries and the country then pay them in dollar or in pounds, where the money value, where then bring them back into the economy. Now a lot of money. So we now like we own this advantage, Andy. If you take Salon, you put in that kind of situation. We they import more. You know, the inflation not hits the country more. Inflation in on disadvantage, inflation they come more specifically from what we call like the depreciation of the money. Because the depreciation of the money, they lead to inflation because with the import. I'm gonna like explain this a bit to like listeners and let them understand. If we money don't depreciate in value, the loans, for example, yeah, you get $100 because now in dollars, everybody they go buy. Salon we need to produce almost nothing. Now put on that way to be precise. We go internationally from China and all other partners at the globe for go import. And we go buy them here in dollars. And the dollars or the band, what would they exchange with money into that dollar they already? The dollar, $1 equals to 10,000 leons. So at the end of the day, $100, they give you 1 million. That's alone. So we go buy them goods and then we bring them. We can't end up for selling at the country. Now they end up for result to inflation at that country. Day. You end up for see people they see now say every good so they go for go buy, it persistently high in price. You see, so like that in key effect where you get on we. So like governments, but as you say, this is not just like a brief one I just explained like how it affects a country like Salon because there's a lot of way them for them if not any responsible like let's say responsible government where you know say that they affect the livelihood of your citizens them. You know, like one of the factors the way Mr. Andrew they mentioned, government for don't try for deal with and they in such of them ways and they for fight the inflation, way one way now for cut interest rate. You may you cut interest rate, it automatically trigger the appreciation of we own currency where it match to the foreign currencies that they use for imports. That cable help for reduce the price of stuff them on with people there where them able to survive. So if not just like the relationship between the two, I will stop there first and you know whilst we go around.
Okay, thank you very much. And we really appreciate at least you don't book and count on for we as how if go. Now we then move on to Mr. Kanu. You listen as Mr. Kanu gets extensive knowledge in terms of cybersecurity, and we all know how much the leading economies that they spend billions and billions of dollars for protecting infrastructure. Of course, I will not reach that level date, but at least anything can happen. For we understand better. We go ask Mr. Kanu for it tell me, given the current security situation at the country, what do we feel say we for do government for do specifically in terms of cybersecurity?
Thank you very much. Thanks to all the previous speakers, and we don't speak very well spoken, and in my own capacity as a cybersecurity student. One of the things I want to define the word cybersecurity, a bend but don't break approach, a bend but don't break approach, and securing any enterprise, a nation, and any organization from all the cybersecurity attacks. Then, that resilience. So we get a term what we call cybersecurity resilience. And as a government, um, we don't want to put too much pressure on the current government because we not get the sophisticated approach and sophisticated materials than what we actually need for secure a nation. That's just the truth of everything what's going on in our country. But however, um, we get for no say we need for land from some places the way some of we don't live. And if you check, most of the people that we live with today, they don't live in a civilized world. World we get all things where you able to learn from. And we not only come to them country there so for can spend money, we come to them country there for can gain knowledge as well. So we get leaders then today we don't actually they are there inside and then they don't go for go lead with country. There's a lot them can do, for secure our nation, especially when it comes to in regards of cyber threat.
I think we don't lost Mr. Kanu on the line. Yeah, Mr. Kanu, I think we all lost Mr. Kanu.
Really?
Yeah, Mr. Kanu, yes, we don't lost. Yeah, we don't lost you both audio as well as okay.
Una to get me?
Yeah, welcome back.
Una to get me, right?
Yeah, welcome back. Yes.
All right. Sorry about that. So that the internet, I don't know what's happened. But anyways, as I will say, yeah, the government got a lot of roles to play. Like in regards to the need for like a formidable team. The government needs to get a formidable team we comprise of a lot of expatriates in various fields. Cybersecurity, and you don't forget the computer technicians. We go able for set up the internet and make sure that everything is stable. And then forget a team who for able surveillance because the cybersecurity tech, na man where they concentrate per computer like 24/7. They need to forget like people that way they monitor activities of the social media and things that already go on around the world for make sure say that they at par with what the people they want and what the government they do. And for able to get that database, we're going to monitor government workers, government officials, contracts, all implementations where they go on at the country. Because there's a lot of things that where they go on at the country, we're not just kindergarten stuff. There's some things that are going on in the country where it seems like the government not even aware of. And that's because we don't get that database for monitor everything at one level. Let's just like example, what's in the go on our Wataki, the corruption where they on our Wataki. If you check sometimes His Excellency don't know. If you check sometimes the Minister of Trade not even aware of the way our people in the suffer and our Wataki for pulling products. The kind of tax where they put for people and government get a young, the pay get a young, something like that. But all that we get one database and we get a cybersecurity department where comprises of full expatriates. We're going for monitor the ingoing and outgoing, the incoming and outgoing of things that already happen in our country. I think that's going to help the country a lot because cyber resilience, nothing where you get for be persistent about because you get for get attacks, people don't go for the attack type of hack in your system, just like what we sensed in the election. There's something that went on. We didn't talk about some Ghanaians, then we come out some side, we can hack the election and stuff like that. But if you get a good cybersecurity team, I think they're going for help for secure our nation in so many departments.
Okay, well, you digest the subject better, and we tell you plenty, thank you. And again, we'll move on to Mr. Andrew, the banker. I respect this man a lot.
Money.
Okay, Mr. Andrew, the COVID-19, there is no way absolutely will exclude that from here. It's very important. Now, we know how it don't impact the global economy, and how these don't relate to key economic indicators of the country?
Well, before this time, in general, the world as a whole, we could count and back to Salon. We get a projection where we don't go viral na the whole world. Key economics and we don't come up with a projection say the world get for go into a 2.4% reduction into most countries' GDP. What in this mean? A GDP now one of the parameters mostly where most countries can use for measure whether the economy they do well or they do well. And I believe say Salon na one kind country where I want for take one parastate as I make them as a case study. Like for instance, the Woko na airport depends solely on the taxes where me and you for the travel go Salon, we call passenger tax, and the flights then where they go. And from their money where they get that, and then they take them pay 90% of their money that they take for pay staff. Now folding up of most traveling restrictions the way don't come because of this COVID-19, you find out say airports they at a standstill. And this really they affect the government and you don't hit we so badly that most of them staff then they will be the benefit from their salaries, them benefit and other loans. They happen again. And you find out say outside this bulk somewhere you come up for pay them staff then some they will not they work right now, but I think then they receive money. Some they can go work once on a while, but yet still government get for the pay them. They come up from the consolidated fund. So you find out say closure of one sector don't affect another sector in the economy. Because if you look at the GDP, when comprised of, we get like 4 key components them, we get to call the consumption, where now to the consumers them, and we get to call the investment, where government expenditure, and then the net difference between what you export and what you bring inside. And so I don't know what kind of country where prior to this time, I know they give kudos to the past government, but you find out, say, if at all we still maintain exporting certain products, them, let me say, for instance, the raw materials that they go to, like the iron ore, the bauxite, or the rutile, or the diamonds, them to this time, I believe so for not able for keep part of that side. But you find out, say, when the SLPP come, what did they do? They fold up all the sectors and you find out, mining activities not they take place down at the country, either they do it in the shady way, that they do on being yard. But what do we know for now? Nothing absolutely not they take place. So even we not get that much there for even finance, like other countries them, advanced countries them now, like let me take for instance, like Kusa they so. If one sector close, the government able to come and boost the other sector there. But if you go to if you take phone now, you call na salon, na cry all over na cry. Quite recently at this salon, man, waiting they happen at salon, a bag of rice don't cost over 370,000. If they go to 400,000, it's not to just rocket science analysis. This is reality. And so because of the COVID-19, it don't can add back. Like a mandate driver for you go pusher. So it does the add for go no more now. Exactly. So you find out say before COVID. The country be the go first into one way. So COVID come again. You find out we just continue for go the other way, And then this it affects we in short a way that and like what I've been saying in the previous analysis, if at all the government able at least for strategize ways and means, because I know they talk mostly on income because I don't know to country where they get most revenues. Now taxes no more, and most of them taxes there. Now money the way they just circle within the country. Now money where if you get small business you get for pay tax, and if the company the way they pay they don't fold up. Not even COVID fold them company they don't fold before COVID and COVID come again. I believe say COVID just affects key sectors like the airports, the water key because this is a boku shipment or they take place again. The airports plane and all they go. Even the SSA why they so he affected. At the talk less of Salon as just small country where above poverty donuts. And the small taxes the way them companies then be they pay like Africa Mineral, London Mining or say a hotel where them be they pay. So if COVID come again, you believe say all them side and they don't close and much money not will come into the consolidated fund and you find out say they hammer we greatly, and then for water key side where I be the make mention of it. The amount of ship that will be the Guna Salon now, you see say they don't cut down. And then most of their ship then they before you find out say you will able to collect heavy tax what they use for finance other sectors. And then so like I believe say the president no get no way for able for put this behind doors and able for cover because even up to this point before COVID-19, I believe that the COVID can make the president travel business don't stop small. Before this time, it don't travel in a way that we'll get a brief like they seen on social media where you say we president don't travel to an extent that it don't hit heavily 40% increment to waiting the predecessor of the doing and Escobar. Because we don't condemn an in travel and this even President Madabi now the all part of the people we condemn an in travel one say if they go so much entourage now this and New York or the other side. But when you come, what you just can't show the line. So you believe find out says around one kind of country where people they celebrate certain things the way it gets a lot for do with damaging the country, not only repetition, but the growth again as a whole. So, Mr. Kabo, if I can throw light on this, I believe say COVID, not to talk less of COVID. Before COVID, Salon be the going your way. So COVID can we just can't add for push up to we wait itself, you know. So we economy for now, they at a standstill because Salon one kind of country where now don't know giving, we all know. We not get for hide for talk now one day. Now don't know giving, we not get no way for raise money except to get small from we mining activities over there, the way they at a standstill now because most of the deals them where them previous them they don't sign. Where SLPP come, then disband all them deals and they because you know they into their favor. You understand? You know they into their favor. If we say okay, the 99 year this man we don't sign, will you come? You want for try for revisit them? Okay, because Mr. Kabo be the work now this side, and in family where they be and the benefits from that work where Mr. Kabo the work. What do you for do? Try for look into most of them contract and they okay. Review them. If they were all at the interest of the country or not, you go able to see. But the way you can, you just close everything at 3 years, they go so now we not see nothing. COVID don't come again, it don't hit we greatly. I believe say this really don't affect we as a nation, you know. It don't affect we as a nation. You know, because when you look at the cost volume profit analysis, I don't try for drag it up, but I just want to make things very clear now. No businessman where they do business for make loss. You know, you don't do business for profit. And then you get certain points where they reach. If self profit no they let you money where you put, they will get them back. You understand? What we call break even. If at least what you put, you will get them. And at the end of the day, you find out say you go able for continue for one business. Or you find out say sometimes in the way people they do business now, Salon said, what they even they put, and they will get them again. You know. So I just want to stop here for now and hand over the thing to you, sir, Mr. Kabo.
Okay, thank you very much. And we go back to Mr. Kamara. One of the reasons where probably this platform it don't earn respect. Yeah, we know they just talk based on political party, based on region. We they talk exclusively for Salud. We interested and for Mama Salud. But however, if you get any different understanding from what you hear from the speakers, yeah, just clarification, and they talk in the interest of the country at heart, just like any other citizen in right. Now we come to Mr. Kamara, Mr. Ibrahim Kamara. Most of the time, we get to programs here, we offer not only, they talk about not only the problems, but possible solutions. Now, given the current situation of the country, like where Mr. Andrew don't explain, Mr. Kamara, what do you feel the youth there for do right now, for at least get themselves engaged or partially? What's in the team where government for do actually and the people? Because now two things involved here: the people and the government. Now, most of the time with the bash government. Now, what do you feel say the people for do now for save themselves from short? This more or less sound like calamity. Back to you.
To be very honest, the COVID-19 itself don't bring the war to an end, you understand? So technically, I can put that the citizens not get much for do. They not get much for do. This is wholly and solely day on the government. Because like economies in all over the world don't already project say the world economy get for going into recession. They go. And the good thing if I can say, what to make this recession, oh, they get this 2020 as a result of COVID, they don't already project that, it don't happen yet. It's much more different from the 2008 recession. Because like 2008 recession, when it happened, now it began from the banking sector in America, where like Lehman Brothers, they bankrupt, they close, they spill over all over the world. Nobody not be the economies, they not be the expected, they're not projected. So they're not being prepared for them. You understand? It just take the world unawares. What's it be called the global financial crisis. But like this one now, it a build up because no recession happen it because recession itself. Let me try to understand what a recession itself. Recession, na an economic decline. You understand? In 2 successive quarters. You understand? So it take up to 6 months for they declare as a recession don't take place because the first quarter when at 3 months, you get to observe the economy then if they decline. But it don't mean say recession don't take place. But successively, when you go na the next quarter, then it decline again, then at the 10 they declare and say na recession. So it's inevitable in the world. You understand? It happen because the world, COVID don't bring the world onto it kneels now. But like responsible government, I don't know how I will take them small, how it happen at the West, because they know, say it happen. So how then they move ahead of them? So the recession is when I say an economic decline, the key thing where they use for measure any economic expansion in any country for say the economy they grow or it decline. Now GDP, where my brother will explain more. You understand? Now GDP are the key thing where they the GDP don't rise or the GDP don't fall. And one of the things and way it inside like the GDP, when I check about waiting, when I get for check the income, when I get for check unemployment, because a lot of people then get for lost their job. So it did mention one thing, one key way foreign, let's say like the UK, the government do for protect people in job there. And they introduce the follow scheme, when a job retention scheme. Then tell employers and say, no, we not lay off on our staff, then in as much as we not they operate, but we go to pay 80% of their salaries there. You understand? So we go keep them on our payroll until we return back to normal. But whatever it is, when they get for open, they don't get for open in full flag. You understand? They still get for lay off some people then. So a lot of jobs then they at stake. So that are one key way like they do now England and of course now America, understand them. They give them $1,200. You know what I mean? Like we unemployment. I don't know how for secure people then job there. One way how government they do now for protect people and job them with this economic decline. I was much sure because the unemployment rates in Salon already, even before COVID, have been quite high. You know what I mean? And there's a tendency to say businesses then get foreclosed. Because some businesses and they will go close for now, we're not able to operate. Then get for they in so much loss. Even when they reopen the economies there, they're not get for able to reopen anymore. Because they don't go to somebody, the loss don't eat them so deep. And they're not get no option for make some staff then redundant. So now make us say, the staff then youth or whosoever the way you get job, you really not get much for do now. You just they wait for see waiting they happen. The only person where we will do something about that, the states, not only the government they will protect jobs then. They get for give bailouts then. They get for give loans then, but whether they give loans then to people, then they get for cut interest rates on their loans then. If not to that, then businesses and they get for look, okay, loan, the government don't make loans available. Like how I understand, I don't know if the central bank they try for work on that day. They make loans available for protecting credit. If you make the loan available, but the interest rate's quite high on that loan, nobody not get for taker. Because business they exist because they want to make profits. Now, business, you understand? If I go take loan for continue for them in business, but as long as I don't do in that business, I get for pay so much high interest to the point that I get for law end up for make a loss. It go just say I know they take up that loan day. I rather lay off the staff them. You see, so that it will be government in failure if you don't make more loans or more funds then available. Yeah, the other way we see they do now, government they bail out. companies like 2000, the 2008 recession, except now that they do back. Where the bank, because the entire banking system for don't crash. All the government and they step in, then bail out them banks, they give them big money there for let them continue for them into business. So again, the staff then are them banks and they not being get nothing for do. Now just the government then save the business the business there, not for close, so then go keep them citizens there employed. Equally, any responsible like governments again, we expect this alone, for them begin to engage with businesses. You understand? How you go support them where they not go close. You get for support them. If not loan you they give them, you get for give them. If not any job retention scheme, you they come with you, discuss and with they say, we know when I go struggle. What thing they happen? We they freeze una tax, una for pay for 3 months, for loan continue for the in business. So the business then go watch, yeah, we profit don't reduce. Even the numerous commercial banks that within our salon. They employ a lot of people then. You understand? But if they get for see and say, salon business no they run, the airports they lock, investment no they take place, we profit they go down, and we get so many staff that they come, the banks are empty. If they get to a point they look at and say, we don't need all the staff there. We need for get rid of them. So the quicker the government come in for support them government, them businesses and for protecting, now it better for the youth there because they protect them. Because I know where we talk, there is no way government will create job right now for people that we the whole world they anticipate recession anyway. Salon sit down like now donor driven economy we then rely on the West and the big boys there. The big boys are already they expect say we economy they go into recession at the next quarter now. America, UK, China, and this and that. So you're not going to expect much from them people and they locally and in for try for engage. Businesses then give them assurance. Cuts down you interest rate, make more loans available to them, give them assurance, create that atmosphere for them, give them the atmosphere where they will believe say Yana a safer place for do business, even with this economic decline where it affect the whole world. We can able support that will not go hit hard on that. Now the UK then suspend mortgage payments. They call a mortgage holiday. People that we get mortgage, like when they buy house, they pay small in the midnight. They say the next 3 months we will not pay. We will just say so. Then give advice to landlord then. Say, you know, they evict nobody now you host here, even if they struggle for parents. Basic amenities, like MOT, what do they call like on your motor car now, where they use your motor car. They call it MOT for know if you like your motor car in place. Then suspend them. So the government are intake all the burden for protect the people there. So now that we need for sit back as alone, the government need for come straight. Because ahead of the recession, you don't know already say it happen. Begin now. Well, I'm afraid if they know they do much now, when the recession get for hits at the next quarter, when are pretty soon, I get for go deep. Because even like when they project how it affects a lot of economies, like them big boys are where they don't know ahead, like the UK, then they even project say, if you look the graph, how it get for happen the recession, it get for get a V shape. Because it a decline, but as they reopen, because of the support the way government they give, you understand? It a kick up back straight. So now I made them say it get a V shape. The economy they decline, but government get for support them in such a way, it begin grow back. Then automatically an economic growth they take place. So they look at and say other countries, more like Africa, and Salon not an exception. You understand? They talk say they get L shape. So meaning when it decline, where the economies then get for the decline now, they decline and get to the recession point, they get for they done at that level there for a long time. You know what I mean? They did this way. You know, they grow. They get for they done there, and the more they done at that side, they are suffering on with people then. Now serious suffering.
Okay.
Yeah. So that are the key things. So government need for step up ahead. The recession not happen it. Let nobody not get wrong. Anybody know what recession mean? It not happen it, but it happen.
Okay.
If they happen, obviously.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kamara. I think this now a word we at least authorities and therefore take very serious because for be proactive and like you mentioned, of course, now we don't get a golden opportunity for prepare forward. Now, I will turn to Mr. Kanu. Mr. Kanu, you audio off.
Yeah.
All right. Um, you know, cybersecurity person. Waiting at the like the basic infrastructure where government for do, at least for our call and the elementary stage when we come for can like for protect government and the people. Waiting at the basic uh, elementary stage where government for engaging. I know it's very expensive for set up their system here. And we know we economy, they talk about recession, all that stuff. Then they, but however, we're not going to compromise security, you understand? Because two things without security, when they talk about economic activities, okay, it's very important. And the one more sophisticated, like they talk about hacking, all that stuff, then they you get some reckless people that will just take advantage of the system because you know say maybe we be prone to less securities until they infiltrate we bank we central bank other places cause mayhem or we electionary process cause mayhem and so on and so forth. So what are the basic infrastructure where if it's a government supports? Just a quick one.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, we government when the government come power, the president will travel a lot and they will explain. So we say most of them supporters will explain. So we say like the president will go out for go lobby for come with good things in our country. Cybersecurity is one thing that we can lobby through the United Nations as well. If we as a country we know say we know get that financial capability for set up a cybersecurity unit will go be a formidable one where they're not going to take advantage of because cybersecurity until we update each and every day or each and every week or each and every month. So we definitely upgrade them. So, but if we feel they will not get them kind of capability, then they first and foremost we need to get a base, a cybersecurity base, not only for protect with nation, but for protect with banks, you know, with economy and everything, you know. So, through the United Nations, and as we all know, United Nations they're not our principal at the entire world. So, and they're responsible for each and every nation in the world. So, if we can go with case day, I think what they can look for because security is one of the most important things we then stand for. You know, so instead of we sit down until the economy collapse or somebody infiltrate the economy or something else happen, I feel say with the travel, with president the travel, one of the things that way you can present to them big organizations, even the World Bank, you know, you can present to them now that you build a cybersecurity base for protect the country. They must send expatriates to them, or if not, send Sierra Leoneans and
No.
Did you get me now?
Yeah, we'll get you now. Why?
I don't know. Sir. Okay, so that should have been done in the first 2 months where this government take power. Now, one of the first priorities, and that will be for me top now we scale of preference, you know. So, but you know, with the land as we go, you know. So each and everybody will come into this government. People will come with their own negative agendas. You know, we need people and really we can put the country first, not just by saying it. You know, we all can say we like the country and stuff like that. But we need people that will actually put the country first, and we go can work for the country. And cybersecurity now one of the things and the way they're able to stabilize the security of a nation. Because not only the physical security where you see policeman, soldier man, not only that we need now in the country. We need the cyber world where you're able to monitor the process where they go on in the country, even the law, the judiciary. The judiciary, therefore, the need for the under scrutiny. You know, there's a way where you're able to monitor all the kind of anti-panty things that what they play in our country. But all that has to do with computer work. You know, so but we're not well fortified in our country, and we need help. And if we need help, the most foolish person, the person where they feel say is not supposed to ask for help. When we come to the United States, I can learn something here. the more you ask for help or you feel say like you seek knowledge from other people, and the more you grow, and the more you grow, and the more your intelligence to grow. And one of my own biggest strengths where I come in America, me and my manager, the Sasa the work, and me and the manager, I get workers there where I ask them for let them help me for things the way me don't know. Then they admire me as a manager for know it all. But that's just going to deal with your ego. You know, if you get that ego, say you sabi all things, you could always go into and put yourself into trouble all the time. But when you get that mentality, say you do not stop for learn, the least person that you work in place, you can learn from them. You know, you can ask them, they can be able to support you. So as a government, the government not feel too big for going to United Nations, going to big organizations like the World Bank, and go put the case across if we not get the finance for set up a cybersecurity unit. But that's very important thing where we forget our salon for secure nation. We forget a cybersecurity, a formidable cybersecurity department in Sierra Leone.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kanu. And this is a very, very important and interesting aspect because since we only follow the information technology, we know say the world let it go bend again. And now you see on afford you to go. And these are the things that we will take very serious, you know. So whatever the case get to happen, we not say yes, we need still basic necessity, but again, in terms of security, yeah.
I got a question.
Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Kanu.
Somebody did text me and they asked me how do they access this program on Facebook if it's accessible.
Yes, they can access via my own page and as well as the TPP page. Send them for you. We don't share the link actually, but quickly send them for you. So you go just send them back to people there. Yeah, so like I've been trying to say, this aspect very, very important because no matter what we say is security comes first.
Yeah.
All right. Now the final question where we go share to we panelists there. Now for regarding the current political situation of the country, I don't share answer to you. You go just send out to the people and we'll click on the link. Given the current political tension of the country, where we see say opposition people, the opposition people figures and they get suppression from the current government. Why this not this? Not that we in a makeup story. These are the reality. For example, looking at the likes of Sylvia Blyden, where of recently they in a very tight place, and where like the some of the accusations have been able to make them known to people, you know, clearly just like an forgery, maybe they try for patch things, rest of the day. And again, we know say of course people like Paolo Conte. Why would they bring out all this? Because sometimes it's very important to let the leaders where they now power understands the security can force. Now we all they talk about economic growth, economic development, inflation, all of these. If security not in our country, no wise businessman not go another country will go invest even 1 cent, even $1. So that make we can advise with leaders there, we can suggest to them for make them do the right thing. So finally, when do you feel say this case, especially those people? Now they start from Mr. Andrew. What if it's a government for engaging? Because now we don't get into humanitarian. We get TRC where they talk about reconciliation. You're facing at the right time this way, governments for go after the opposition, even if they get points for all them, given the current political situation. What if it's a government for the what is so it's gonna be like a suggestion to you, not necessarily means they go take her, or maybe possibility for make them take her. We don't know, but at least what thing are you going to take regarding the security situation? Sylvia Blyden come to the opposition, and just maybe in 1 minute.
I think it was in October, hopefully, when we get an incident, we get with Jamal Khashoggi. Yeah, that journalist where they be killed in Turkey. Saudi been get heavily blowed for that. And that not only affects them under the international diplomacy basis, it affects them also on the, you know, Saudi now one of the biggest oil producers in the world. Because of that journalist, where they kill, not only say Saudi, then kill in Turkey. It was 2018. I've been talking points at the entire news media and BBC, CNN, I believe most of we be here. And so, because of this, the crown prince has been heavily received a lot of backlash from not only international community in Saudi, the neighboring countries, them, and the people who they do business with them. Most of them back off. Them back off. Not on the basis that Jamal, yes, if he don't die, he don't go. But waiting the image where Saudi we don't get, you know, it takes time for make Saudi able for up to this time, Saudi will get a name yet, you know. So we see the oil price go down to a point, people are not be buy to them again. Because even America won them sickly, and up to this time, the case still and the follow-up. I just want to relate this to Salon. Because Saudi now one kind of country where Salon they admire so much, most times people in the go there for pilgrimage. Saudi get hampered and get hammered greatly because of waiting. Then they on this same opposition base. Because all that in the name of politics. If we reflect them back to Sierra Leone, we see cases like, let's start first from the vice president, Sam Sumana. When Aneskuma bin Saka, they invite an ECOWAS court. He not turn up. What happened? Most investors them, therefore we do on a Salon. Because Salon don't get that image where in CC. The rule of law, no, they taking cause. From Sam Sumana, we see cases then for Paolo, this recent one, the CC, they're Blyden and other key opposition members them. I know they talk on the bay, we're not there into any of them parties then. We not Sierra Leone, and we talk for the layman. We talk on the basis of if Mr. Lucien get affected today, tomorrow it will be my own family, it can be Mr. Komon family, it can be your family. So let nobody not get them twisted and maybe Andrew na APC or Mr. Komon na SLPP or this man. No, not on that basis. The more you continue for one after the opposition, and the more you continue for paint the country image so badly, especially to investors. You understand? Because most people where they go buy with diamonds or go buy with or then they say, where what can they say in Sierra Leone? Even we say we'll get bad image there. You know, this is common in that country where always and they kill people and they jail people and we know. And of recent we see say, well, although not closed door meeting, but specifically I believe the international community be meet with the president, but try to talk to him. And we see he called the interreligious council quite recently, I think, a state lodge or a state house. I believe so in that meeting, they get a lot for do with waiting, negotiating. The best thing President Biogo do NA administration, make it try for sit-down dialogue with the opposition. Not for one time. What you want now, Salon, peace. Let the country continue for boom. Because the more Salon be affected, the more I can be hit. Because recently I talk with me, what I tell us. If you say, but they say 100 pounds na Salon. Now, because of this continuous saga where they go on there, I got for multiply that money they into two. I got for the same 200 pounds. You know, because the more the tension they continue, the more the unrest they continue, and the more the economy they be affected. Look what happened at Tombo. All them things and they get for do with waiting, the tension at the country, you know. What happened at Losal, you know, unnecessary that power chief go lost in Motoka, in Os, you know, all them things and they, I believe say not good for the country, you know. So now that, Mr. Kago.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Kamara, Mr. Ibrahim, what do you take regarding this sensitive topic?
Okay, the security issue
in just under 2 minutes.
Okay, last try for just squeeze. Because the key thing about it creates what they call uncertainty, where so much chaos, the riots, feds, and too much, you know, they detain opposition members and journalists and civil activists. That it creates uncertainty straight in the country. And what I say uncertainty is not good for business. It breed what's it called pessimism in economics. That pessimism now, that not so, you know, they encourage nobody for go investing. And we talk about recession, we talk about COVID, we talk about other things there. So everybody in focus they how you able to boost your economy. So I believe say that they happen at the wrong time. And so maybe just say the wrong thing. Because if anybody really think say, okay, in as much as COVID don't a lot of economic decline don't take place, but me get money, I want to go invest in a salon. You understand? Then you think, you listen, say, them been born police station and hospital, then na Tombo, Lonsar, for example. Then added to them, you do another follow-up on them. You can realize, say, the president been calm. Now, yeah, they can't address in citizens, in a terrorism. You understand, eh? Then what they are, I don't know how they look at that. But when you use them kind of what they are, me investor, me sit on a UK or America, I get the intention, say, I want to go salon for going invest. They say they burn police station, they arrest, they detain. Then the president himself, when are the first gentleman at the country, don't tell we say, terrorism in that country. So, you know, I already tell me, say, no can invest in a salon. No count your business now. If you count your business now, it is at risk. They can burn and do anything. We get terrorists away here, we just jump and can't work your shop or your business, your factory, or whatever it is, then put fire panel, then destroy. You understand? So that the message where they say, and I don't know, you understand, waiting them they want to achieve at that day. Because now one way they look at it, then you look and say, that hits hard on the opposition, I use very harsh word on them. You know, you understand it, or that paints them, you know, badly to the international community. But in as much as it try for do that day, it try for destroy the image of the country as well. Internationally, it frustrates investors in way they don't get for good. Because that uncertainty, no they. No investor, no they go invest in a country, we're not secure, we're not safe. You don't tell them already, say we get terrorism, not come. So they not get for go. So I believe that at one end, most investors and we don't work hard almost their whole life, they don't raise their money. You understand? I for let them go multiply the money. I for let the money go add. If they want to go to salon now, they can't realize it. Well, me know they go too much into the legality of whether what they do with it or do a wrong or right. You know, because sometimes government, you get for big combo, you get for mature. If they go to a state house and not shoot you and not kill you, nothing happen. The man don't go declare and go. Forget about that and they move on because you didn't focus on development. Also, every small thing you get for go after. Nothing will be happen anyway. But I wake up call, you know what I mean? They ready. But like the action I will take for correct and the way if an action for correct time, it is send the wrong signal. You understand? To the international way not good for you economy coming the economic aspect me the wash at.
Okay.
You understand? Now the investor they go to watch say, but then a country where opposition they not able to operate freely. Because now two sides of the story. It depends on whether other investor get for believe. When you go they say the man can go on in this and that, the other people then the way they talk and say, but the man go, it goes the go on in declare and this and then get the argument. Then your argument now, listen, you no democratic. You know they allow opposition and for operate. You they try for intimidate them, arrest them, send more people in a prison, shut them down so nobody will oppose the government. You understand? Civil activism, Sylvia Blyden, for example, or journalism, they send them go to prison for shut them down, for keep them quiet. So anybody will see that as investor again, they will say, you think say it's right for that take $1, $2, $3 million, now go invest in a salon economy. We say the rule of law not respected, they detain people then, you know, without any charge for 2-3 weeks. They know they respect them, they know they give them right. You know what I mean? So then a frustration where you they send is a wrong signal. So you know, because of time, I will just end about that are the key effects and the way get the government info don't step up maturely. Say me now government, I get an economy for protect, I get people and for protect. Right. Use other measures and how you go do and where you know will send the wrong signal. Okay. That way I feel say for don't do it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now we move on to Mr. Kanu. What now you take this when relating to security, given to the current situation of the country, particularly the opposition and the government. Of course, we all listen to the president in broadcast. Well, like specifically, the message was against the opposition that they blamed them exclusively. What is the sense in terms of security to the outside world?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that. And I'll go elaborate.
Mr. Kanu, he really gets problem with the internet.
Hello?
Yes, yeah,
Would I get me?
yes.
Okay. So I said I want to apologize and request for a little bit more time so I'll be able to digest this topic. This is a very sensitive topic, so we therefore be very careful of how we handle them. As we all know right now, thousands and thousands of people in the watch we, and they look with program, and which I appreciate because I the monitor my phone, I see a lot of people and they on Facebook they watch with. We tell them all thank you when they come on board for come watch this program. This is a young man them we just get the country at us, come together for come make them kind of platform here. We will get the opportunity for express yourself and tell people them actually what they go on. And for let we establish ourselves say now salon we like, not to NGC, APC, PDP or this. Now Sierra Leone now we talk for. But this particular topic is a very sensitive topic. We are very interested for Rob Motma. First and foremost, I want to hit on the opposition. You know, the All People Congress, now a very formidable institution. We the lead that country today, and we all know, say now one of the biggest political institution now we own now we country, Sierra Leone. Hold on, yeah, Sierra Leone, and also, but me just this feel say after the election 2018, there was too much tension in the opposition side. I feel like they concentrate on the government, like thinking about what they are doing or what they are not doing since the first week where His Excellency take power. So me just to talk in a Sierra Leonean standpoint, because if you look at, we all get to where we belong, but in a Sierra Leonean standpoint, I feel say we not give the government enough time for settle, we don't begin to criticize them. So notwithstanding that, I'm not to take away the facts about what's in the happen right now. What's in the happen right now is a lack of leadership. It's a lack of quality leadership from the government inside. I start from the time where the government win the election, and I appreciate the fact that there are certain Sierra Leoneans will begin bash the government the very first week the government take power. His Excellency not even sit on it. I hear and clearly, I don't know if I get a conversation with Mr. Andrew. I say, Mr. Andrew, till you go on, they don't begin call Simano. Understand? And so in that first part, but right now, I think say they don't get enough time, and me be pledged. I pledge say I not criticize the government. I only them for 1 or 2 years. In the second or third year, I will begin come and talk about things that way they do right and do wrong. And that's exactly I do. If you go on my page, you go trace me postings them. I begin post inside the second year when they begin rule about certain things that when they do good. But in this particular situation, that was a lack of leadership and immaturity in the part of the SLPP for letting go after the opposition like that. Because that is sent a lot of wrong signals to the international world. Because we get people in the international world where they out here like a telescope, then they watch the country for to see if in a country where nice for go invest or not. Investors then get one way out in the world. Before they go to your country, then they forget about your country first. Then get a database, when a world database where they go for check and see which country fine for go do business. You know, Sierra Leone is a country where nice for go do business because in as much as the returns, any businessman holding a salon, then you get millions and millions of profits. But with the security at the country, it drive away investors. You know, so for let the opposition they go after, the government they go after the opposition like that, I feel say very petty, not to the way that they for do, not to the way that the way they able for short the people then down for letting them not talk. That's a very petty way for short the opposition because at the end of the day there will be a day where election they come. Election go for come and people and go for go vote. So I feel say like very really necessary for waiting to go on soon our country in both ways. We got to give praises to other praises is due. That's not the make you come on a party A and go on a party B. You know, we're supposed to do something, talk and we not do good. We work as one country, as one Sierra Leoneans. You know, we not just there because are they blue, we blue do good, I talk away do bad, and they talk out. You know, we green do no, we will not for it like that. If we did like that, then we say we left with country. I'm afraid, man, we are heading for the wrong directions. So, but in the part of the government, that's very, very unprofessional and very, very petty. And office say them for to do that, for go after the opposition like that.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think say we don't come to the end of the program, and this will just slate time for 1 hour, and we don't. I think we don't pass the mark 1 hour. A very interesting programs and program, and this is not going to be the last one. And as usual, don't talk with me on brother. The platform we open for discussion like this because we feel saying that the way, one way this will give back to society, and specifically and privately, we get we own contribution they make to the economy. But again, in terms of information sharing, at least for all the government accountable, this is not one way. And we plan when we pledge and we plan actually for use this platform judiciously, at least for the benefit of the country, not only for me, but for the country as a whole. So I want to tell you plenty thank you. I know someone abuse the people and for letting us spear una time, it means yes indeed. But una tell we behind closed doors and even publicly, so una get the contract arts, yes, una don't prove and beyond reasonable doubt. So I will go to Mr. Andrew for give me a last word, and then we try for wrap up. Mr. Andrew, your last word, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Kago, I want to say thank you to you, the moderator, for this idea, and to we brothers them, Mr. Kamo, and then Alusain, and to we viewers them. One for go again to viewers them a salon, make we continue for living peace. Now one salon we get. Whenever we travel abroad, you not get for say this time Mendy Sierra Leonean or Liba Sierra Leonean. Now one salon we get. And I want for make we continue for portray that image the right inside salon, not only we travel abroad, because tribalism not the whole travel. This man we sit down, I don't care whether na Timini or na Mendena Liba, what's important as Sierra Leonean. Like I've been telling you, this program not centered on the basis of market anybody or any politician or anybody. When they talk, if na Neskoma, we don't teach more. We they talk anaya. If in a Samura Kamara do something, we they talk anaya. Currently, na Madabi we get na power. We not get for go bash and Neskoma. What do? They hold them accountable, make sure that they give back to society what he promised. I remember that debate with them. They go all now. Being too many hotel. And it pledged a lot. To me, honestly, I'm not be satisfied. You understand? Up to this point, the pledges are still there and are just vague. And they are just still promises. We say about the Lunge Bridge, we say a lot of things, but we still they encourage the president, make it just there for deliver. Because if he fail, they fail anyone, would they fail together as a nation? So I'm for tell people like thank you anytime from now. If we ever get program again, the moderator will announce something and we say go be and count on that door and make sure say we are all able for come and contribute and listen to me. Thank you very much for hosting us, Mr. Kagbo.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, we'll switch to the able professional for let's say last word. Yeah, Mr. Kamara, back to you.
Okay, I would say thanks so much to all the panelists. Of course, everybody contributes, very well, and I enjoy the conversation, and I appreciate the platform for let we self can add and give back small society waiting they would acquire. We don't left anyway in terms of knowledge. My only advice with the current situation of the country with COVID, where it don't hit, well, again forget very serious economic implications them, at the world, and Salono to an exception. So the government therefore take this into account. The government need for focus on economic expansion, rather than for begin the fair. We not to election here we did, we not get any election, we not get anything for worry about, not to campaign mood we did. Not to everything where you come then say, okay, you fall short, now then area there, you can say the government they not left nothing. Come work, come with policies them. Come with a lot of things them we necessary where say that they in place where it able to help the economy for grow. Where the economy grow, you understand? We know they get a lot of incident there. If that opposition man want for go inside or whosoever we would be any part of the world for inside youth say for go cause any havoc, you understand? That man happy, he get a job where they feed in family, you understand? Where they look after and say they pay in bills there. So God, they even listen to that nonsense for going on street for go riot. Nobody they listen to. So why then they focus on, and they adjust me advice that and the government, you focus on how you they improve the livelihood of your citizens there. Then are you way how you counter all this attack. whosoever go to talk to them, go fed, go this, go that, they know they listen. Because me, the members say, well, I get job. I get for good, a good gig, I can feed me home, me picking and me family. And they listen to you, Chris man, when you talk nonsense. He like, now someone I can talk to. Now forget about that man. That man, we don't do, you don't go see that they enjoy. Let me left me walk around the street for go out. So now that way, the way government they able to tackle them, and they definitely. So that me advice, I government focus on economic growth, target key things. Them it's so simple. Then they think about people. Then their income. How you able to help people and let you improve their income. In that way, they strengthen them purchasing power. Without my boy, they become happy. A happy man, a man where you relax. Yeah, you know they go on the street, they riot. Put infrastructures in place. Come with tangible developmental things and way people then will see, they enjoy. You understand? Then peace they prevail naturally. You understand? Okay. Just like that, they are believing that them for focus on. Forget about the opposition. Forget about about imprisonment. Forget about threatening people there. Not to that matter.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We turn to the security expert, Mr. Kanu. I want to let you tell Fambo your last word. And we really, me personally, I really appreciate you on the platform because I know how cybersecurity, the government, they spend money. I know. So like for the fact that at least for the first 10 days, we get you on the platform, it means a lot. And we hope once in a while, maybe probably work out a special segment where exclusively we can try for talk about the elementary aspects to solve for start. So at the end of the people and really because people are still then as well not understand what is cyber security.
Yeah.
Because they don't even understand what they talk about, you understand? Because of internet connectivity, electricity, exposure, all those stuff they do. So we're going to come up with probably a short segment where we will break down exactly what's in this mean to the layman. So that at the end of the day, I'm holding a market to they sell in paper, they understand what it means by cyber security. Next way, this person say cyber security, oh, you know now what's it? Oh, I learn from Mr. Kanu. I don't learn from him. And that make good program where they put up on Creole because why would you last person for let you understand? So what's your last word, sir, before we say your last word, sir, before we say
yeah, thank you. My last word goes to two sets of people. One, the government of Sierra Leone. Just like I want to the line of my brother, Mr. Ibrahim Kamara, wonderful contribution, sir. I want to tell them for just focus on developing the nation. Let them focus on developing the nation. Let them not pay too much attention to some things the way they distract them. Like they pay attention too much on distraction. But there's a reason for that. The reason for that is you not to do what you're supposed to do. If you do what you're supposed to do, you know they pay too much attention to distractions. But because you know they do what you're supposed to do, so you guilt, they overcome, you fear. So that will make you pay attention to waiting at the top of my corner for trying to protect yourself. But notwithstanding, say, you're not able to protect yourself like that. Because people that they see clearly say, yes, we're not going in the wrong direction. So I guess the advice, His Excellency, and the entire SLPP government, as a Sierra Leonean sitting here in the United States, please do best for our country. Because Mr. Andrew said, if SLPP fail, now we all fail. Another 5 years add for we age, we all don't fail. So me, I wanted the success one, not to make you come out APC go SLPP, not to make you come out NGC go this. No. But when you succeed, it's not only for Madingo or Soso or Limba or Mende or Timini. It's for Sierra Leoneans. So please, Mr. President and the entire nation and the entire government want to concentrate on developmental issues, bringing jobs, because we borders and they there with the suffer, we not even get away for any job. Bringing employment, putting down the unemployment rates in our country, put the percentage down, and that could help win our country. That's now the one thing that we want to talk on. The second thing I want to talk on is the general citizens of Sierra Leone. Put your country first. It's not just by saying it. Put your country first. It's not just by saying it. It's a very simple phrase to say, I like the country, I like Sierra Leone. No, it's not just by saying it. You have to get it at heart. If you get it at heart, that makes sure say, you go get man say, I need to eat in the street. Government only for tell me, I need to eat bad. put your country first. You will not say, my constituency this is my constituency. This me Paddy one can stand. He is not capable to be a parliamentarian in my constituency, but he's my friend. I will vote for who is capable to bring development in my constituency. That's how you put your country first. I set an example in my area. I got a friend where he ended up winning. He was one of the youngest honorable in parliament. He's my friend. Maybe he go to watch this show and he go to smile. He know say I look at tell her. She say you know fit to. I'm not saying like you know fit. That man over there say people sober pass you far. I tell her, but he win because the area, except an APC dominated area, he's my best friend. I do him. I tell her this I don't want to call the name there. But he go to watch. Yeah, I didn't call the name. So he go to watch. I tell her this I'm not saying like you man is sober pass you far. You understand? So but we will make that phone the but really I mean you understand? Because I see the capability and what the other man do. We know then the party will be the support set. But until we get them ideology that they say I know they can vote for you because we don't have a party. And they vote for who they can develop a constituency. Now so you they put your country first. But I'm not saying that a far-fetched idea for Sierra Leoneans to get that ego there for do that. It's not easy, but I just put some out there because this is a very wonderful platform. You know, we get to just say what we got to say here. You know, so I really appreciate all the one that will take part in the program. Mr. Andrew, God bless you. Mr. Mohammed, God bless you. And Mr. Ibrahim, God bless you all because this is a very nice platform. And I can't wait for the next segment.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Okay. We listeners and so they come to so they do the cutting of the program and we tell now plenty thank you. And the reason why we don't succeed up till the time for Kana here frequently and for owner request them for Kana here, it's because not only see credibility in programs and just like the panelists they will bring come, you know, then focus on church on issues. We not care for can bash governments. We not care for can talk about opposition. Waiting the basically in about Salon. So I feel so like if we move towards this particular lane, Salon will become a better country. Me, I believe in the people of Sierra Leone. I not say change possible. Change nothing will constant. It happen if we get the right message. We touch the right people there. Now change work. Like I can tell some of my friends in this, the world where they live today, now like ecosystem, not chain world. There are people that will believe in me. If I talk something, they take our clan and sinker. There are people that will believe Mr. Kanu, any two way talk, then they believe her. There are people who believe Mr. Kamara, so to Mr. Andrew. Whatever them talk, positive or negative, and they take us serious. So if you all come together with a pass one simple message for transform the country, it reach to them people and so go reach set up maybe reach to the right people there. So that's all I'm on. This advocacy group platform we set up at least for reach out to the authorities and to we serve as country. So I tell now plenty thank you for our time there, and I hope for soon again in the next segment. And now so we end the program on a goodbye.